Hello YouTubers, Troz here. Last time, the end of my video, I showed off this monstrosity of a machine here that evenly distributes items across 8 furnaces so you can cook ore or cook food relatively quickly. But yeah, it was pretty big and not that easy to build. So I actually came up with a well, I'm not going to say a better design, but a different design that's much simpler to build. And I actually have 2 different versions of it. One is easier to understand, one is a little more efficient when you get bigger, but it's over here. And as you can see, it's much smaller, much fewer hoppers, still a lot of hoppers, but fewer hoppers, and it does a pretty good job. Let's get a bunch of stuff in here already. Let's get rid of it. They all have coal. Well, I'll explain how it works briefly. It's easier to see the top up here. You put your ore up in this chest, your coal in this chest. And it may be a little hard to see, but these hoppers in the front all point into the next hopper this way, and then the one in the end points to the back here, and then these all point this way. Basically, it makes a big loop. So I'll put some ore in here. You see they begin to drain. But after a few seconds, this hopper's not getting any fuller. What happens is basically the hoppers are acting as a pipe and they keep passing around an item. So it's acting as a big loop and items keep transferring around. Now what happens here is I have this hopper timer. I believe I have like 20 items in it. Oh, looks like 17. It needs to be more than 16. There's 16 hoppers in this loop. And basically I want this whole loop to fill up, so every hopper has at least 1 item. And then this blinks, so the hoppers down here take a bunch of items, or 1 item each from the loop, and then the loop fills up again from the chest. You see this hopper is going to fill up, but then as things are taken, you see as draining as fast as it's being filled for a bit, and then this timer activates again. So basically all these hoppers, every time the repeaters behind them blink, they take an item and transfer them down. And you can see I'm running out of coal here. But then the coal is basically the same thing, just one further back. There's a hopper with a loop of hoppers behind it. Let me fill it with some coal. That should be enough to cook all those items. And again, so there's this loop, and then when it blinks, it takes items out of the loop and fills the back of the hopper to fill the fuel. This should be what's going on there? That's strange. It was working earlier. Well, this is the basic concept, simple one. This is, again, it's the exact same thing, only I have... The problem with this one is you can see there's hoppers or furnaces on one side, but the back there you have a whole row of 8 hoppers here that aren't used. And this probably isn't quite as efficient as it could be, but you basically have 4 furnaces on each side, so you're you're kind of using both sides of the loop. The only thing is you have to have some hoppers across. So really, at 4 you're more efficient doing that way. But if you have, when I say 4, I really mean 8 because it's two-sided. If you have 10, 5 on each side is when it becomes more efficient. You can see the inner loop here, you only have 3 hoppers. There's a hopper under this step, basically. So whereas you have 8 around, across the front that do something and 8 across the back that do nothing, here you have, 8, 4 on each side that do something, but only 6, 3 on this side and 3 on the other side that aren't really useful, at least for the coal. You have 4 more for the ore, so the ore top is not the ore at the top is not as efficient as it could be. But, also with this design, you can the way the chest, it's filling both sides, so you can have it cycle faster. So let's put some ore in here. And some coal in here. And you see this is, had some, so in a minute here when it, there we go. As soon as it cycled, the coal dropped in. This side should all be going as well. So, yeah, this, it looks complex, but it's basically the same design as this, only turned into a loop instead of single-sided. Still haven't. Not sure what's. Oh. Got 37. Oh. Change the design slightly. I think I know what's going on. One thing that I did find when doing this one is you need to use half slabs, otherwise these slabs become powered, and that prevents the hoppers underneath the kind of slabs with redstone on them. Basically, if the redstone on top of a block on top of a hopper will prevent that hopper from transferring items. So I bet I had tested this one. Basically, well, I'll fix this up right now. That will kind of, all the ore is already in. So if we and that should all be fixed up now. And these should all be going. Yeah, there's still. Well, let's put some more coal in here. And if we check the front, every time we hear it click, yep, the number of coal went up. This means it's working again. Yeah. So a solid block with on top of a hopper with redstone on top of that will prevent the hopper from operating. So you need half slabs above your hoppers that have redstone on them. Anyway, so this is this design, and thinking I'd build a quick one of these. We can make it 6 furnaces on a side, and show you how it works. So because there's a single line of redstone in the middle, it's kind of symmetric on this line of redstone. So we can start here, the single chest. Is it 3? Yeah, it's 3. Built this a few days ago, and coming back to the video now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do it 6. by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Furnace. Hold shift. Alright, that's the pattern to get items out. These will be the input hoppers for the coal, and these will be turned on and off using the redstone. The repeaters direct the power directly in, otherwise it would make a loop and that won't power the hoppers. Technically you could probably do every other one, but that'll make these hoppers grab at a slightly different time, which can potentially mess up the timing of pulling things out. So like you may get every other occasionally. If the ones pull, then they transfer over, and the next ones pull. Okay, so that's the hoppers that will be turned on and off, and there'll be the timer we'll put out here. We'll do that at the end. The next step is to make the loop, and the easiest way to do that is you put a single block and you hold shift, you have it point into that block, and just kind of go around. You see how they're all pointing, and then turn the corner so it keeps pointing in. And finally you remove this block, and again you have it point into the last one you placed, and so you have a big loop. Now we need to have a chest that will hold all the ore, and I'm going to use a double chest here. You can see each side went out, so it's basically feeding the loop at 2 points. This is actually a little more efficient than that initial design. And let me put a redstone torch down here. So these won't take... Oop, how did I miss that? There we go. It's raining. So the bottom hoppers won't take anything. The items will just go around the loop. You see 2 are taken at a time, and if you look, see these end hoppers should be going up. Yep, items are going around, I think. Yep. So what happens is this one and this one should have been filled up, although I guess they all get transferred around. And that's it for the coal. Now I need to do the ores. So basically, you need to put at least... Well, what's going to happen is... You're probably just better off using all half blocks here. You could put full ones at the end because they will be covered with the repeaters and so won't get powered. But it's probably just easier to build with all half blocks. And they obviously have to be placed above, not on the hoppers, so there's a gap so you can place redstone on them like that. If they're on directly on the hoppers, you can't place redstone on it. And one more there. So we're just going to make a big U of redstone here. And then repeaters. So yeah, we need 3 high here. 2 just to get past the coal, and then the last one is going to be turned on and off. Alright, there we go. And now we need to make our cycle. It actually doesn't matter what direction it goes in. It doesn't matter if it's the same or opposite as the coal. And then remove the initial block. And again, putting 2 hoppers that way, 2 hoppers this way, and then a double chest in the middle, and this will hold our ore. So, first power this, so it doesn't take anything yet. And iron in here, and some gold, and maybe some pork chops as well. So now we're all ready. We just now need the timing circuit here. And so basically I want these to both blink at the same time. It doesn't really matter what the rate is, except that we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the top loop here. The top loop's the bigger loop, so we want at least enough time to transfer 11 items around. This will be our, we'll take the input, and now we just need to build a hopper timer, and 6 by 2, by 2 high, and basically we need a redstone block, and this will power everything, but as the block gets shifted by these 2 sticky pistons, while it's in movement, momentarily the redstone becomes unpowered, and that's I think it's actually a half tick, but it works out to be 1 tick, it seems to be off for. So we need 2 pistons here, one facing that way, one facing that way. We need 1 spot of redstone behind each piston, block in the corner. 2 comparators facing the blocks, and then you need 2 hoppers. And probably should put a block down first, have this hopper face that block, and then you can make this hopper face that block, that hopper. So what happens is you can put items in one of the hoppers, but because the redstone is there, it won't let the items transfer out. When the other hopper does reach 0, though, it momentarily turns off, which causes the pistons to push the block the other way. So, let's see. 21 should be good. Drop that in there. And now I can make sure this is working. Shift once, shift again. Alright, I can remove these torches. And next time it shifts, we should have items starting to cook. There we go. Looks like we missed here, but that's the thing. It's easy to build. It does work. It's just not that efficient in item distribution because of basically the way the items get sorted around in these hopper tubes. You sometimes miss one, or as you saw initially, this one didn't fill. And when you get down low, it doesn't really distribute things evenly. They can be placed in the same furnace, but if you're doing a lot of items, it will cook things quickly for you. And all you need to do is fill your ore or cookable items up here. Put your coal or charcoal down there, and they'll all get shuffled around and into the different furnaces. And you can build a little stairway up here. You can walk in here, and yeah, that's how you build this kind of crazy automatic furnace. And you can see everything is dumping in here relatively quickly. Just after a tick here. Yeah, you can see, there we go. So, a few other my videos I mentioned, you can have a mine, and you transfer items, and you can like dump them into the item sorter, or you can dump into this furnace, especially if it's ore. And I kind of designed a little system for doing that. This is this would be in your mine, and you put your ore or whatever you need in this chest. It'll fill up this minecart with the chest, and as soon as this chest is empty, it will launch this cart. And basically the way it does that, you've got a comparator here that detects when items are in here. So once you start filling it up, it'll send out a signal. It will turn off this torch, which causes this piston to be retracted. But this redstone signal is also turned off. When the piston's retracted, the redstone down here will connect over to here. And that kind of looks like that. So right now these are transferring out and into the little minecart here. When the chest is empty, this torch will come back on, which will give a signal, and the cart is on a powered rail. It'll power it enough, but then this delay will cause the piston to come out and turn it off. So that lets the cart go out and then come back in whenever it needs to, or whenever it's empty. This over here is the unloading bay, and it's kind of a similar setup. This piston is retracted that lets the cart in, but as soon as it starts transferring items into the hopper here, this outputs a signal which causes the piston to block the exit of the track. It ramps up there until the chest here is empty, and that'll be in a second. The piston retracts, and it gets sent back to the loading area. So that's my simple loading and unloading system. Actually, I'm not sure if that, I think that works without being 21 pieces of redstone. That works without that being turned on. And yeah, that's my loading and unloading system here. Yeah, this is just a little delay. And yeah, that's pretty simple how it works. It doesn't take up that much space. And I mean, this can be as long as you want, and you put, you know, boosters every so often. And you use that to get your ore out of your mine or transfer items, you know, long distances, and automatically unload them and send the empty cart back. So yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and see you guys next time.